So again, I call on the People's National Party to engage stakeholders like you, Uncle Howard, Bratton Dye, and everybody else, Dr. Oren Cole,
yes,
Uncle Hugh Blair, all of us, because we have a part to play in this Jamaica.
True.
The change of Jamaica affect all of we. We the out here put our voices, our face, our livelihood at risk because we know that we love our country. It's not because we're not nothing for do. It's because we have a love for our country. The Prime Minister is running a demagogue, which is ruling under fear.
Yes.
And he's always going to use fear to trouble the Jamaican people. Hence the reason why he said, meet your maker or you meet the judge. You understand? Those words are corner shop, gunman, workless boy type of talking. That is unbecoming, unprecedented of our Prime Minister. Jamaica deserves better. That's what we're getting from our leaders is garbage. The next word is cockistocracy, where we are being governed by the least among us. When we hear Christopher Tufton coming out after a failing health ministry, and he coming out bawling about the US aid, listen, man, it shows that we weren't doing anything to move our country forward. They talk about we weren't borrowing any money, and we have borrowed money over $300 million US, which is on the website of the Ministry of Finance. But because we don't read it, also we have borrowed over $900 million, and that is on the website of IMF. We borrowed that $980 million in 2023. Yeah? So what they're telling us that they're not doing is a lie. All lies. Dana Morrison-Dixon come out and tell a lie every single time she get. And we need to look at these things and strategically plan against it. We have to give the Jamaican people a voice. We have to remember that this problem affects all of us. And I mean all of us. Whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Rasta, whether you're a ballad, whether you're a church goer, or whether you're an artist. So no wonder you see the artists coming out. Jamaica's in shambles. When the Prime Minister come out and declare the roads, the state of the roads, a national emergency, that is an indictment on the Prime Minister and his government. That is a national disgrace. And the Jamaican people must know you for who you are and your party. So don't feel like they don't know what they're doing when they come out here with Marlon Morgan and other people. And it's constant. Somebody taught me the other day, well, a couple months ago, he said there is a pattern in chaos. And I said, no, there's no pattern in chaos. What you're talking about? And he said, well, what is consistent about chaos? That you always have chaos.
You have organized chaos.
Organized chaos. And that is what Marlon Morgan is. And these vloggers. So the battle of the mind, your little tricks, Mr. Prime Minister, they're of schoolboy type of tricks. The Jamaican people don't need tricks. They don't need promise of prosperity.
Yes.
They need change and progress for a better life. People, be very cognizant of the fact that we're under a food war internationally. So you see that seeds that you used to throw away, scratch the dirt and plant it. From 1972, Michael Manley said, grow what you eat and eat what you grow. With tariff that US had put on China, 10%, 25% on Canada, and also Mexico. That will have a knock-on effect to Jamaica, where we are depending on mass import over $1 billion US in import. So it is time for us to look at food security. Can I just play one thing and then I will go? Please and thank you, because every time I hear this piece, trust and believe me, Jamaica and Jamaicans, fellow brothers and sisters here and in the diaspora, this is the truth if no truth was never spoken. Hear this from me now, please.
The Judas wears the color of our skin.
The hills fought, bled, and stood their ground. The redcoats fled unable to win. They agreed on a treaty and signed it they did. For years those hills lay peacefully and unbothered by all government who came after to govern the lower lands. But, as old folks say, pig are your own soul. Meaning, beware of the Judas who wears the color of your skin. He looks like your brother, but he will sell you for a shilling. The Judas who wears the color of our own skin decided to disrupt the sleeping peaceful people up in the hills. But like Judas, greedy like Scrooge, he went to the paleman and took their offers of riches and gold. Our kids and women vanish daily without anyone to tell what has happened to them. No, the Judas cares zero to him. It matters not what has become of them. Instead, we see strangers, or investors as he says they are. But our question is, investors, because honestly, where does the investment go? Our teachers, nurses, and bright minds, just like the wind, they up and go. The Judas who wears the color of our skin promised prosperity. But this is disastrous and nothing far from captivity. Minus the gallows, cat-o'-nine whips, and shackles. But then again, wages are shut down and strangled, and they are burdensome to many. Shackled by high crime and backer master who is poverty, has its boots on the neck and the sword. Those who shook Scrooge's hand to the promise of more and more gold, our own have fooled us once again. Yes, there are no slave ships on our shores, but some of us on the flats are hooked, are standing our ground and putting up a hell of a fight. Our enemy is the Judas who wears the color of our skin. He has sold the flatlands and now he's after the hills.
Thank you, everybody. The word is love. Everybody know who the Judas is. Trust me. Just type it and tell Dre and the rest of the world who the Judas who wear the color of our own skin. Forward with the PNP. Forward with Marky G. The word is always love. Blessings, my brother Trey and everybody.
All right, Jamaics, big up yourself. Blessings every time.
Before we go on to Morgan, give me my time now to talk about the conference. You notice how me there for the longest while I'm not saying nothing.
All right, Morgan, you next, and Morgan going to wrap up the show. So, but yes. When your comrade Blair speak, but all right, Howard, say your piece, and then we're going to hear from Morgan, and then everybody going to give a minute or two, and we wrap up. I want to wrap up by 1:30. I have some stuff to do, so by 1:30. So go ahead, Howard, and then Morgan line up next, and then the rest.
I wish I Morgan. I wish I Morgan.
Not big back, broke time. Our comrade.
This man conference. We never ever see nothing like this. Never. This is a clear case of desperation. And that's what the comrade said. When you go to school, you're not stone for green mango. You're stone ripe one. Right? Morgan realized that with Dayton Campbell sitting on the electoral advisory committee, then can go on with the monkey panky. Dayton Campbell sit on pan it like a pit bull. If you notice him give up in practice as a medical doctor, for devoting time, full time, to the People's National Party. And them realize that. What him keep a conference with, if you notice the type of journalists, 3 little journalists. The Gleaner, TVJ, I'm going to remember the next one again. But I think 2 of them from RJR, the Gleaner, TVJ, and Nationwide. And there was no substance. We never see a press conference talk about allegation and WhatsApp. Especially, we are in a age. Because Nationwide, to try to show you that we're the land, are losing Dre. Look what we do yesterday, without any fanfare and momentum. And it reached the office of the Prime Minister.
Yes.
And Nationwide, I run with the 15 million. I run with this all week and it not gain no traction. And this man in them have to pay to keep a press conference. I'm going to tell you, the party need not to respond to them. Because here what now, GLP are going like say, them unclean. They have no moral authority to speak.
True.
You have a prime minister who find himself with hundreds of millions of dollars. Set up an integrity commission to ensure good governance. And he did not satisfy the integrity commission. And instead of proving to the Jamaican people, proving it to the PNP, that he did not accumulate any unauthorized wealth or ill-gotten wealth, he chose the court. Silence means consent. You must have something to hide where you choose to dodge it in court. Prove it. If what they are saying is not true, dare you. The prime minister of his business partner and two of the largest construction provider for this country, the HAJ and the UDC. Is that corruption? And for the records, corruption don't only mean take money. When you are doing something, it has not to be deemed transparent or fair. It is corrupt. Is that corruption? To have Norman Brown, the Prime Minister business partner, sitting on the HAJ, sitting on the UDC. Is that corruption? Is that corruption? To have the government-owned Bernard Lodge estate owned by the SAJ, the Sugar Agency of Jamaica, building houses, Oak Estate, Kimtech, building on government lands, selling it for 26 and 30 and 40 million dollars. Is that corruption? I'm asking.
Very much so. Unethical.
Is that corruption? I'm asking, Marlon Brown. I'm asking for the Prime Minister business partner to build private house and government lands and selling it for extraordinary money. Is that ethical? Is that moral? Is it corruption? I'm asking also, why you didn't call a nationwide who owe taxpayers of this country $1.2 billion to pay up or taken before the tax court? Is that bias? I'm asking. Why is it when the ordinary person who owe property tax when all them before the court and summons issue for the ordinary person who owe 60 and 70,000? Is that corruption? Why is it that we have a member of parliament who is criminally charged and you go all out to re-elect her and she have a trial come up next month? And I am saying to Dr. Campbell, we will do the talking. We don't need for my granny say when father talking loud and make them talk on everything you respond to. Talk about the economy. Talk about the economy. The first quarter declined by 1.1%. The second quarter 2.1%. The third quarter 2.8%. And your owner agency said no, it's worse than that at 3.5%. January done. Why we can't get the December quarter? The Prime Minister know that the country is in a recession. So that's why after 6 months you say the people them now get the burial money and the burial money done. Why now you get burial money? Why now? Talk about that. Talk about the impact of USAID and how devastating it would be pertaining to the government in terms of the clinics and condoms and contraceptives. Some certain NGOs such as the Woman Inc. and all of those who depend to keep our young ladies educated while going back to school after giving birth. Talk about the implications. Talk about how those deportees that your commissioners and local superintendents call and say criminal overseas are financing gang. Why when them come, you're not ready for them? You know, say them a buy gun and send out this and send out that. When them come and I like them come off of the airport and go them business, then go central. So why you let them go back? A banana republic now running a yap. Why you never talk about those things? So the gen sick, you don't need to respond. You don't make a statement already. The blacks now clash with Bounty Killer. And it goes to him too. And I yield to give my comrade brother Morgan so we can have an insight.
Yes. Thank you, head boy. Big up yourself, Howard. Big up yourself every time. Good afternoon, Morgan. Welcome, sir. Take a moment and land your ship now, please.
Very well. Thank you very much, honorable gentlemen and ladies. This is one time in my life when my last name is, when I hear it, is not so pleasant to me anymore. I love my last name. I love my family name very much. But whenever I hear this, my last name rings in the last couple of days, months, it brings a sense of disappointment, and it pains my heart. I will. That has nothing to do with my political allegiance, and I make that absolutely clear. I am a staunch comrade, and even though I might bear a particular name, that will not change. Yeah?
Yes.
I want to take this opportunity to really thank the social media platform to which we are on right now. I say that because since I've been here in Jamaica for the past couple of weeks, I've observed something very, very interesting. I've been perusing the different media platforms, the news agencies, the hotlines, the talk shows, and so on, the local radio stations, just to hear what's happening and to hear what their take on things. And when I listened, I realized that a large percentage of the people are still without the right information. Since I've been here, I've been campaigning with my own family. They're already comrades, but they are saying some of the things that they're saying is what the news spilling to them. No, I'm putting them onto this program now, and they're listening to different aspects of news, investigatory journalism that is happening on this platform, and their minds, their eyes are opened so wide because all they're seeing on these social media, these media platforms, the TVJs and the CVMs, are the regular things like Jamaica is operating as usual. Nothing is going on. And I realized that had it not been for spaces like this, bloggers like you would have gone out and do the necessary research and information and then come here and we have this wholesome, fulsome discussion. The media not saying anything, saying anything to this. When I look at I listen to the news, apart from the few people that the news reported, killing and so on, it looked like the Prime Minister do something, It looked like the Prime Minister do something. And I look at it and I said, thank God for these platforms and these opportunities. Because being here, talking to my brethren and sisterins on the streets about what's going on, a lot of them don't know. So I want to say thank you. Continue to do what you're doing. And I would like to see more of this. If everybody could go on shift, start in the morning, somebody take up in the afternoon, right 24 hours. So there is a constant feeding of information to the people.
Yes.
This is something I would work, because I realize that had it not been for these social media platforms, you especially, Mr. Brian, you would have been in serious trouble.
That's true, man. Thank you, sir.
I rest my case.
Thank you, sir. Big up yourself. Blessings. Just before I ask the other gentlemen to wrap up, there's a media release from the People's National Party opposition spokesperson on local government, Natalie Nita Headley. Boy, may I tell you, Dre Brian gone at the four corners of Jamaica. I have opened the eyes of many. And the media release said, Kingston, Jamaica, February 6, 2025, that is today, the Shadow Minister of Local Government, Mrs. Natalie Nita Garvey, MP, is calling on the Minister of Local Government, the Honorable Desmond Mackenzie, MP, to urgently clarify statements made at a post-cabinet briefing yesterday regarding the ownership of houses granted to the registered poor under the Poor Relief Act and under the new social housing program. In a statement today, Mrs. Nita Garvey said the minister's assertion that these houses would revert to municipal corporation ownership upon the death of the beneficiary is causing national concern and could be legally misleading. The legal status of these homeowners must be clarified, as persons now receiving houses are confused by contradictory statements made by the minister and their original understanding, she said. The shadow minister explained that her advice was that indigent housing provided to registered poor or paupers on the roll only reverts to municipal corporation ownership if constructed on vested pauper lands. However, the minister's statement implied this was the case for all housing grants. So you see, right there and then, them want to say me put out something that was not right, but me know the man, Desmond Mackenzie, said there is no duplication. The two program them are the same thing. You understand? So let's continue the letter. She further noted that this rule does not apply to individuals who receive houses on their own land or land owned by others, but are legally permitted to use. Mrs. Nita Garvey is also seeking clarification regarding the NSHP, which is administered by the Office of the Prime Minister. She pointed out that beneficiaries are similar and some are now anxious about their housing security. As a result, she is calling for the government to publicly outline the rules governing these housing provisions. The opposition is firmly against houses being taken away from the elderly, registered poor, indigent individuals, or anyone on the pauper's roll, as this would put surviving family members at risk of homelessness or destitution, she asserted. Natalie Nita Garvey, Shadow Minister of Local Government. Comrades.
So well on the teacher. Just read and go so.
Yeah.
So it's clear. You never tell no lie.
Thank you.
It is clear. For me and you night too, for the Prime Minister party night too, In the clear night, I know.
True.
Labour right to the ear. Dre Brian, you break record. Dre, you reach the observer. So not more than the Prime Minister office full of call.
Yes. And he find out who is this Dre Brian and dig me up. And the man block me. See it there? Me go up on Andrew platforms this morning and realize that everybody has seen page except me. The Prime Minister blocked me from his social media because me talk up the things them. See
me wouldn't know if him block me enough. I'm not a friend him and me not go up on him page.
But yes, thank you, Morgan. Big up yourself, my comrade. Uncle Pablo, Hugh Blair, and Sydney and Elder, wrap up for me now. Please take a minute or two. Uncle Blair, go first.
Good morning to every comrade there. Good morning to every comrade there.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know for the rest of you, but as for me, I am enjoying the political atmosphere to the maximum.
Hey! With a coffee.
and it's because of the J. Bryan platform and the tremendous work and effort of his followers.
True, man.
You're gone abroad to tell very important person in our society 1 year from you now see you now not even hear your name now much as your company page we read them and say what a disease. Because what? We dissect and not just dissect and keep it. We dissect, explore, and ruminate.
Yes.
Educate and illuminate and debunk.
Yes.
And let masses of this country see what the depression and the devastation of this government. And I feel so good. I feel good, wonderful, good. Have a good day.
Thank you, Elder Martin.
This is my wife here.
Big up yourself, Mrs. Morgan. How you do?
One Dre Brian.
Every time. Every time. Love you. Big up yourself, Mrs. Big up yourself, Mrs. Morgan in the background there. Not true. DJ Pablo, Uncle Blair, wrap up for me now. Take a minute or two. Go ahead.
Yes. Well, Uncle Pablo. Let me go first. I may open my mind.
Go ahead.
One of the first thing I want to say, Jay, I want to shout out to my niece and our comrade sister Tia, whose son is doing a surgery today.
As we speak, yes.
Yeah, as we speak. We just want to send love to her and her son. And I know that with the blessing of Father Jesus,
yes,
our everlasting Savior, everything will be all right with you.
That's right.
Right, yes. But just listening to Marlon Morgan this morning, and in the Auditor General's report, the Auditor General said under the housing program, $63 million were granted to construct 10 indigent houses by the KSAMC. To date, $30 million has been spent and 4 houses has been constructed. The Auditor General is yet to see the other 6 houses are the equivalent of the other $33 million. So while Morgan was having a press conference pertaining to the KSAMC, he did not take the time out to refer back to the Auditor General's report.
yes,
You want to keep press conference on $300,000, which has no meaning, no bearing, because to date it's only nationwide and the JLP who is running with that. Because there is no proof, there is no evidence to tie neither our GenSec or the People's National Party with any act of malfeasance. And this press conference this morning is an act of desperation.
yes,
Our governing party could not call up a press conference. And as you rightly asked this morning, who paid for the airtime to have it here? To call a press conference because of an allegation of a disgruntled comrade, who, after making this allegation, cannot be found and has not spoken to any media house since that to verify whether what he said has any truth, which we know it doesn't. So we are not going to run with that. What we are going to run with is the announcement by the minister yesterday in regard to indigent housing.
yes,
Yes, because we are not misquoting the minister of local government. We are quoting him words by words. And what you call it, Jim? Verbatim? That's where we are quoting him. The houses that belong to the people, and it needs clarity. You understand, it needs clarity. But thank you again, Dre. You have reached the observer, but you have reached fine and wide in the diaspora long before now.
Thank you,
and
sir.
the
Thank you.
people of Jamaica, and in extension, the people of the People's National Party, its supporters and its bureaucrat and its secretariat will be forever grateful to you and all the other bloggers.
Absolutely.
Who took time out to come out daily. And we have been ridiculed. We have been called names. We have been put into boxes. We have, they wanted to analyze us. But we have one mission.
Yes.
And the mission is Jamaica House.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you, Comrade Blair. Big up yourself. Uncle Sydney or DJ Pablo. 2 more guests to wrap up the program for me now. Uncle Sydney, you want to go first? Uncle Pablo, you close out the show for me. Mr. Sydney, you there?
Yeah, man. Me there, man. Me there.
All right. 2 minutes and wrap up for me now.
Yeah, man. Me say, hold on, saints. Hold on, comrade. Hold on, because all them are trying, they can't get rid of.
Yeah.
And when you see them come out so miserable, because this thing I want them come with this man, I know nothing what it plan and just hurry come up because it take to the media the housing thing beat them, man. Me don't know if they sleep last night because it spread all both. Me say surgery uncle want to dig up your ancestors, man.
And then no media come.
Oh, I dig, you know. Me say me go over a soup program and me hear everybody. Me say are the foreigner them, you know what? Are you foreigner them at about, you know?
Yes.
The foreigner them at about that spread over them, and you see the greatest thing are not lie because they have the clipper play. They have the clipper play now. So all they could have said no, say a different housing thing. So whether different house or no different house, at the same house, and as me say, I better you stick with the Prime Minister one and nobody put it on the look on Mackenzie one, because are the worst of the worst of the worst, the poor of the poor of the poor, you take it back from. You better you make them stay with it.
True.
Yeah, man, you better you make the Prime Minister one and say that, but the poorer people when don't have no them want to hit a zinc or one the battery catch up. And you make one the house give them. I want to tell them say people look after them. You find someone you know good and say what pay rent, and I look after them and feed them and them little clothes wash and see that they have a little bath and so on. You want to tell me say no, them did it now. And when they did, you couldn't that somebody couldn't get it, you go take it from them. Why make them people look after them couldn't get it?
Thank you.
Why they couldn't get it? Why the man couldn't say, well, Miss Jane, you also feed me and you also cook for me and you couldn't watch and give me a little place. You say, boy, you go take it and clean it up and give somebody else. Eh? You see, all the man, them wicked man, but them embarrass themselves, you know.
So true.
More still that them embarrass themselves, man. So, let me tell you something, man. With this, me want this have to play all the election there. You know, I put it up. You know, set up the team, them search, as soon as you find them, see and blow out, send them up. Because they're embarrassed. And when you see them, say they have a game where they can't settle.
35, them I look 50 seconds.
35?
Yes.
God, we can't believe this.
Before you go, Dre,
35.
let me reach 100,000 like. Not far away.
Yes, tap up the screen for me and take me across the 100k taps now, please. 200 and other way over here. Just tap up the screen and take me across the 100k, please, and thanks. Thank you, Uncle Sydney. Thank you, Uncle Sydney. Big up yourself and see you later on. For
yeah, man, me a tap. Me a go and tap you too. Yeah.
All right, perfect. Uncle Pablo, wrap up the show for me now, Uncle. Go ahead, please.
What I'm saying is, see, when you find out people like the Saprosite, Marlon Morgan, feeding on the backs of poor people.
What you call him, Pablo?
Saprosite.
Saprosite.
Yes.
It's coming from the version of parasite.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feeding on the backs of poor people.
Okay.
To pull his craw.
Yes.
We don't expect better.
Yes.
Because in matrimonial houses in a terminal condition.
Thank you, Uncle Pablo. Comrades,
Before Uncle
everybody.
Pablo go, Dre, one last thing. Give me 30 seconds there. Comrades, you see, when we come over here and we ask you to tap up the likes and tap up the screen, this is what it does. Right? We not beg nothing. If who feels to give generously, fine. But tap up the screen, it sends shockwave. You saw how far it go, comrade? You saw we get results that the labor them a back pedal.
Let me just add to it, Uncle Howard, for those persons who, I mean, them only depend on TikTok, but they don't really understand it. Remember, millions of people depend on TikTok, you know, but not everybody platform is as successful for when them turn on the live, hundreds of people are listening. I am blessed with that opportunity to have hundreds of people are listening. You see when you not tap up the screen and it reach all 100,000 taps, it send up the live to like probably the top 10 live which is on right now. So if 1 million people they live, maybe the 1 million people where they live don't get 100,000 taps, but I am one of those persons who get 100,000 taps. So me don't in the top 10 successful live that is on right now. So it's a good depend everybody for you page. So if people depend on TikTok and them just skip through them bound for book up my platform because I am on the For You page. So sometimes we not come and we have beg money and so, but the least you can do a tap up the screen so I can so I can stay on the For You page. Me understand